Friends, what's up? Let's talk here. Wow, what a day. I mean, Palantir, what's the bottom with Palantir? Soundhound, we're going to talk about Soundhound. Oh my God. We'll talk about BigBear a little bit. BigBear, what is going on with my poor little BigBear here? People are being mean to it right now. So let's get into it, friends. I'm glad you're here. Hope everyone is doing well. What a time. What a time to be alive in the market. This is ludicrous what we're witnessing here. So first, let's go right into Soundhound. So Soundhound again today, and I was stressing out over these quarterlies because the news with Soundhound as of late has been a little quiet, and I was like, I don't know if they're going to hit quarterlies. Well, they hit quarterlies all right. They came out with the biggest quarterly yet again since Q4 of 2024. I mean, this is amazing. This stock is going to get very expensive very fast. I mean, this is crazy growth we're watching right now with this company. I mean, this is completely, just upside down situation. So Soundhound has been a stock that had in 2024 amazing year, really changed everything economically with the company, getting deals, investments from Nvidia. Obviously those are done and gone with, but still, people did not know what Soundhound was until last year. Maybe this year you're just coming into it, but now Soundhound is in this whole new realm of revenue, and this is amazing because, I'm so glad I was wrong because if you heard me talk about Soundhound here lately, I was like, I don't know if they can hit these quarterlies. I'm a little scared right now because, it's been quiet over there in Soundhound land, but it's obviously, man, I'm so glad these quarterlies paid off. This is amazing, and obviously the quarterlies came out after hours here, after market close, and the stock's already jumping here, so I would expect Soundhound's going to do very well here in August, at least with this short time momentum that we see. The company generated $42.7 million in second quarter revenue, above the $32.9 million that analysts had expected. So this is crazy. So now they're projected to hit anywhere around 160 to 178 million in revenue this year. That's what we're hoping, at least with BigBear. BigBear is probably more or less going to be in this 180, 170-ish from what we can kind of tell right now. Hopefully I'm wrong about BigBear too. I hope BigBear kills quarterlies next week. But, talking more about Soundhound, Soundhound very much it's Soundhound's a little bit of a weird situation. It really is, because Soundhound is unlike Palantir. It's unlike BigBear that I've been talking about, because Soundhound does not have government contracts. It does not have this huge, notoriety, am I saying that right? With, investors when it comes to, defense, security, all that kind of stuff. Very, very different situation what's going on here with Soundhound. Soundhound is, been capturing these deals even, 2-3 weeks ago when they came out with that new deal with that restaurant, the chicken restaurant, whatever it is. But they've been getting, deals like that. That's kind of the structure of where they've been going in these fast food restaurants. They've pushed over into Europe. They work with many different automakers with their technology. So we're seeing, from what it looks like, this is really a special situation with Soundhound, where we're really seeing this company really push into not only this new revenue stream they find themselves in, but really this place in the market and this place in time where tech is, every quarterly with each of these tech stocks, it's proving that, tech is defining all odds, where it's moving like crazy. Soundhound, not that, God love him, but Soundhound even proved Jim Cramer here wrong, where, Jimmy, the last thing he talked about was Soundhound twice here in the past year time, said to walk away from it. This is a pump fake. Well, it's not looking like that. And, and I don't want to say anything bad about Jim Cramer. I love Jim Cramer, but, it's defining odds is really what I'm trying to say here. These AI stocks that we are watching right now, they're really tricking a lot of the older investors, I feel like. And I don't say that to be mean whatsoever. I really don't. I have many mentors that are a lot older than me that I look to in the investing world, but I've been seeing, and I've been talking about it here, that I'm seeing a trend in the market where, a lot of these AI stocks, they are just 100% making their own roads. They're going, that's okay. We do things a little different now. We're seeing such a feeding frenzy in this world of technology pushing into the stock market. And now more than ever, we have more investors each month, each year in the market. And we're seeing that 100% right now. So since Q1 of this year, that fell a little bit, and it wasn't much. It was less than $2 million for Q1 of 2025 here. But Soundhound has been playing in this range of a $8 bad day. We even hit $7 at one point, but it's been. And then last week we were almost at $14 again. So now after hours, obviously, we are back up into this $13, $14 range. I would not be surprised to see Soundhound go, okay, well, the floodgates have just opened. This is the biggest quarterly we've ever had, and we're probably going to move into $13, $14, $15. I don't think that is that crazy to say. I don't think a lot of people may disagree with that. We're watching a company 100% set up the future pillars of, what the new revenue stream is. And obviously, this isn't a ton of money. It's not a ton of money. It's not a ton for a AI stock, but it's a ton of money for Soundhound, who has come into this new revenue stream. They're paying down debt. I mean, they've got capital. They got money in the bank. I mean, this is phenomenal at such a fast rate. I mean, this is a company that just this time, well, like the beginning of January of 2024. Right when I came into contact with Soundhound, when I really started to look at this, because this is kind of when things started, somewhere in there, January, February, whenever they got that first initial investment from NVIDIA, Soundhound was a stock that, a lot of people would not touch. They weren't making good money at all. They weren't really hitting quarterlies. Things were not good. I mean, they were making $10 million on a good quarterly, and if they could make that. And now, it looks like the new revenue stream is somewhere in this $30 million to now, okay, now we're talking about $40 million. That's a huge jump, and this is about to get a lot of people's attention. That Soundhound is really about to go into this new sphere here of just like it's going to get very popular, and sad to say for people that want to buy it cheap. I wouldn't be surprised to see Soundhound really move up into some higher numbers here into August. This is just wow. This is amazing. God, I love the market. I love investing. It's so cool. I love when I'm tricked, because I think I talked about this last night. I was like, I'm a little nervous about these quarterlies, and then they just, they blew expectation out the window. So, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna chew on this for a while with Soundhound. We'll talk about it again, but tomorrow, obviously, Soundhound's got one day in the market here tomorrow to see what happens, see how investors treat it, who buys it up, who's trading it, and I think it's going to obviously do very well tomorrow. So, yeah, I mean, just congratulations to everybody that held Soundhound, believed in it. It's a very unique stock company, very unique situation, and it's obviously has found a place in business, and I think this is great. So we'll see what stock price we got to get out of it tomorrow. Like I said, it's going to have a great month. Soundhound's going to do really good this month. It's going to do really good probably the rest of this year. I mean, this is tremendous. But what I'm trying to say, in the short term, this month, it's probably going to do some climbing, and some people are about to make a lot of money. In Palantir, just talk about Palantir a little bit more here. I've talked about Palantir so much, but obviously, we came out with this huge quarterly with Palantir, the biggest they've ever had. The stock is running. The stock it seems to be looking for 190s at this point. I mean, this is wild that we are still running with Palantir, and the investor in me, the person that wants to sound like they know what they're talking about here, wants to go like, I would probably sell, take the profit, short-term gain. We're probably going to sell back down to 130, 140, but that's not where I'm at with Palantir right now. Now, obviously, I don't know what the dip is. I think it's pretty safe to say at this time and point, August 7th of 2025, that everyone is in profit range right now with Palantir, at least pretty close. If you were buying at the high today, which was almost this 185 position. Right now, we're in a whole new position stock wise price with Palantir, and it's looking, and big money's looking at it, little money, middle money, all kinds of money are looking at Palantir right now 100%, because it's a growing situation. Now obviously, I like to go to the chat rooms, I like to see what people are saying, and what is the thought process of out there in the investing world. This is why I love like stock twits and Reddit for some things, and even Webull. You can go on Webull and there's chat rooms on there. But it's very mixed bagged. I would say the majority of people are like, this is great, it's going to keep rolling. I think everybody's kind of seeing what logistically is going on with Palantir being a part of the Trump administration, continuing in business. Alex Karp, what he's telling us, I have no reason not to believe him at this point. He's pretty much been telling us the truth. So with all of that hype, all that FOMO, Palantir making crazy amounts of money in such a short time, and from what it looks like, we're only in Q2, for God's sakes, this year so far. So I mean, by Q4, to wrap up the year of 2025, what are we going to be at? 1.5 billion, 1.67? Can we hit? Obviously I don't think we can do another billion. Something dramatic would have to happen, but I definitely, we're going to see this $1 billion quarterly continue here, undoubtedly. I mean, even these firms, these analysts are coming out and saying like, yeah, we know that Palantir is projected to do even bigger numbers the next quarterly as of right now, because they've acquired more deals since Q1 and Q2 here, and there's still this whole huge deal that's being worked out with what Palantir is going to continue to do just with the United States Defense Department or the government at this point. There's still stuff going on there. So it's just a bag of unknowns, but it's good unknowns. It's a situation of, we don't really know what the bottom is right now with Palantir. Palantir, what I was saying about the chat rooms is that like most people are going like, yeah, buy it, it's gonna roll, and then some people are going, this is gonna sell back down to $100 to $50. To me, that's an insane thought right now. Now, obviously, if Palantir starts to lose deals, bad things start to come out here, there's fraud in the company with revenue, that's a different topic. We're not seeing any of that. Nothing like that is going on right now that we're aware of. So this this wagon that's just rolling down the hill right now is going to continue to roll. If Palantir was not where it was at right now, the investor in me, the angel on my shoulder here would go, I would pump the brakes on Palantir. I would be careful buying it at 170, 180. That would be me saying that if they were not part of what's going on in this administration, what's going on with them just in the general, atmosphere of the market, being one of the most popular stocks in the market right now. Probably the most popular stock, to be honest. It's crazy how popular the stock is right now. I would say, it's a little high. I don't know that we're going to be able to squeeze much more out of it, but I'm looking at Palantir right now and I'm going, $200 was my prediction for Palantir by the Q4 of this year, and now I'm thinking $200 may be here by Q3 of this year. Now obviously there will be tidal waves, there will be sell-offs in the market, we will have pushbacks 100%, but in those times of red, in those times of blood on the streets with the market, I know what's going to happen because I've seen it time and time again every year in the market. People are going to swoop in here and they're going to buy Palantir 100%. So, and what we know about this year right now is that more than likely this month, August or September, we're getting a rate cut. Okay, more than likely. It looks like they're going to do it. So that is going to pump the market like crazy. And we're going to see stocks, every stock, everything, even bad stocks are going to pump. It's going to be crazy for a moment. Now, Palantir, it could be in that moment here in August, maybe September, that we see Palantir pump into the $200 position. I don't think it's that crazy. I really don't. If you look at what's been going on here the past year and a half, even since, my God, since this time last year, yeah, we were at $32. Okay. We were at 30. Well, no, we're still in the $20 position. We were at $28. And then by the end of August, we hit $30. But, even at that time, it was very easy to see that things were really going to continue to push here. And and then when Trump won the election and we knew he was pushing into this huge defense bill, which and that's the thing, like I remember telling people, like even people in my personal life, I was like, listen, if Trump wins this election, he's going to spend a ton of money on defense. And Palantir is already working with this, with the Defense Department, so they're probably getting more stock. They're probably getting more shares or more deals. And I think I was even saying that on my channel here. I knew that. Why? I knew that because Trump's first administration, he spent a ton of money on defense. So I knew he was going to do the same thing. And he did not disappoint. Good God, we're still seeing how that's being played out. And who knows? It's only been 8 months. We could do something else here, pass another bill. I don't know what he's going to do. But with that, as an investor, that's following the breadcrumbs of what's happening, man. This is how you start getting places in the market. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying like, yeah, look at me. I'm trying to give you tips here, like, things that have helped me. I want to see everyone do well in this market. I really do. Right now, Palantir is in a very unique stage. And listen, I will be the first one to tell you, it is very high. It is very expensive. It is ridiculous, a ridiculous situation, but it is the situation that we find ourselves in with a stock that is just turning into a feeding frenzy. And my God, it keeps executing quarterlies more than it has to. Like, Palantir, it could just come out with, hey, we beat expectation by 5%. Okay, something like a SoFi. It's doing great. It's chugging along, doing just fine. Undervalued SoFi. Palantir here, it is a freight train from hell. I mean, it is just, chucking coal in it. I mean, it's just crazy. So I don't know what the dip's going to be at this point. I'm curious to see what the dip's going to be. I don't know what the new high is going to be at this point by the end of August. It is, we're learning, we're watching. Everybody wants answers. I don't know, but I do think if somebody's in here and they're going like, well, is it too late to be part of Palantir? I really don't think it's too late to be a part of Palantir as long as they keep pushing into what they're pushing in. New deals, this administration that we're seeing use Palantir very heavy-handed here. And it's probably going to get, progress more into that. So, man, listen, I believe the Dan Ises, I believe the Tom Lees when they say we are going into a revolutionary moment in the market here with these tech stocks. And Palantir could easily be in the $1 trillion market cap here sooner than we think. It does. Some things don't have to make sense in the market. They just don't. They really don't. I went through the whole AMC GameStop situation. I've been through crazy moments in the market. The whole, the Cove market. Pre-Cove, post-Cove, all that kind of stuff. Every chain in the market here, every time zone in the market, there's always something crazy. There's always something that doesn't make sense. Last year, Nvidia, it just didn't make sense. It doesn't have to. There's just new things, okay? And they're just new things. That's the simplest way I can put it. Okay, Big Bear. Let's talk about Big Bear. People are being mean to my Big Bear here. I'm gonna tell you what. So Big Bear is struggling around this, mid $6 zone right now. Okay, and I'm not panicking by any means. We've been here before with Big Bear. What I really think about right now with Big Bear is that, if you remember just back in June, Big Bear was playing around this high $2, $3, very low $4 zone, on a good day. And we played in that zone for a ton of time. It seemed like a millennium. But it broke out. It broke out. So Big Bear obviously right now needs two things. It needs more deals. I think that's attainable the rest of this year, somewhere in this year. In this next quarterly that will be coming out here next week, if they could do great on the quarterly, it would be fantastic. I don't know if they're going to. The fact that Soundhound had such a good quarterly, it's giving me high hopes for Big Bear that maybe Maybe they will execute quarterlies. I'm hopeful. I hope. Obviously, I'm trying to play it down in my head. I'm already trying to tell myself that they're not going to do well. I'm just trying. I don't want to get myself pumped up. I would much rather be surprised and be like, oh my God. But, I'm either way. I know that Big Bear is doing better financially because of all the deals we've seen since November. I know that Big Bear is headed towards, better financial results towards the end of the year, and I'm still very much in the zone that any day, any week they could get another deal. I really do think that, whether it's the Defense Department or it's airport deal, something like that. We don't know, but I'm still not kicking out Big Bear here. I'm still very hopeful that we're going to see something really, really special happen here with it. Listen, we're going into a whole new market. You're watching the beginnings of a whole new market here. A market that is pushing into tech, a market that is pushing into revolutionary time zone with spending investors, the amount of investors with the amount of money that they're wanting to spend and the gains that are coming here. I mean, we're going into, a future with crypto being a part of the market. We're going into a future where we have a president who is pushing so much money into defense, security, tech. And, I find it hard to believe that Big Bear does not have a home somewhere in this future stock market where all these things are just piling money up right now for what's coming here. So what I'm trying to say is that long term, I feel very, very good here that Big Bear is going to find more deals, that Big Bear is going to continue to find new numbers, that Big Bear here eventually, more than likely, will push into a double-digit number. Listen, if you don't know, I want to remind you, but these are two different situations, two different companies, but I do want to tell you, if you haven't been with Soundhound long and you haven't been with Big Bear long, I want to tell you a little history story here. Because I was there, some of you were there, maybe. So Soundhound in 2024 had the makings, the startings of it they were very rough. It was towards the end of the year with Soundhound of 2024 that things really got going. We saw more deals come in, and then there was that moment where the stock shot up to $24 and some change for that moment. Then it sold off to around that $18, $15 position for quite some time. And then the stock, it just bled back down into like the, $7, $8 zone. So when we see these high spikes and then these new positions of like, why isn't it doing anything? What's going on here? Don't let that scare you. Watch what Soundhound's going to do this week. The fact that Soundhound just came out with this amazing quarterly, watch what's about to happen with Soundhound here. It's about to run. It's about to do some running. I say all that to say, friends, don't count Big Bear out just yet. And if you can't take the heat, you can't be here with it, I get it. I'm not telling you to stay. But for the people that are like, I'm here no matter what, yeah, I'm right there with you. I'll take the heat. This is how you get somewhere in the market. You got to take chances, okay? You got to take chances. Friends, I want to wish all of you the best of luck. I think it's been an amazing week. We've still got one more day here. Earnings are about over. And we're going to see what's Fubo's tomorrow. So I'm curious to see what Fubo does. I don't invest in Fubo anymore. I still get comments about Fubo every now and then. Jeremy still invests in Fubo, German Finance. So I'm curious to see. I might get back to Fubo. I don't know. I don't know that I want to spend more time in Fubo. I really don't. They're making money, but it's not even Fubo the company. It's just like, it's the technology. I'm like, are people going to keep buying something like that? I don't know. I think Disney just came out today with like this package of like Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO, ESPN. I think that was it. You can buy all those together. So I'm like, so then when like somebody's like, you need to invest in Fubo, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the future of that is. So I don't know. Friends, take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.